We start with a tape or a rail to make a waist-high lane, and for the first slice we'd walk the horse right through that lane and bring him around to go again, and a click and a treat for a nice job. This time we're going to walk in and halt, and a click and a treat, and then we're going to walk out forward again. So this is slice 2, walking in and halting, and then walking out forward. For the third slice we're going to walk in and halt. I'd like her to walk a little bit more in there. Click and a treat for coming in and the halt. And then I'm going to organize the rope to keep it out of the way. The last thing we want is for the horse to step on the rope or for it to get caught on something. And I'm going to use a hand gesture signal to ask her to back up out of there. Our gap is just 6 inches wider than the widest part of the horse. Now I've put some fencing tape on the sides at wither height, and you can see she's a little bit perturbed about that. And I've taken the rope off to keep it out of the way. She's a bit high-headed, so she's a bit unsure, so she's at threshold. The front of the lane is open, but I'd like her to back out because that's what we're going to have to do. Now I've added a barrier on the far side, and the front end is blocked off. I'm helping her along because she's still at threshold. She's not sure if she wants to go in there with the billowing sheets touching her side there. She feels she needs to back out quite soon, and that's perfectly okay. Absolutely fine. Good backing out can be the hardest part of this whole exercise. Click and a treat for backing out smoothly. And now we've got some relaxation time. She's having a little sniff of the barrels and a look at the sheets. And I'm asking her to go in. Can you go in by yourself? She tries, but then she loses confidence. So I'm giving her lots of thinking time. I add in a light walk-on signal, which is just a tap behind the withers. And she thought of going forward. She tried, but then she couldn't do it. And that's fine. A little smile to tell me that things are just a little bit hard. This time I'm going to gently try again and walking with her. So I'm putting a bit of pressure on her halter there. And she walks in with me because of the halter pressure. So I'm using ample click and treat here for staying parked rather than wanting to back out again. But she's very ready to back out, so I agree. Let's go back. And a click and a treat. And that was the end of this session. We've had a few very short sessions going into the frame itself. So this is several days later. The far side is closed in. I've got no rope on her, and there are carrots in the white bowl. So we're up to slice 7 now. She's much more relaxed and staying under threshold, mainly because she's looking forward to getting her carrots. Asking her to back out, and that remains really good. I've actually made the whole thing a little bit longer as well to make room for the bowl of treats. This time I'm adding in the rope, and she goes in just fine. My job is to keep the rope out of her way and stop it snagging on anything. We could begin this whole thing by going in only a little way to reach the bowl, just by moving it down. We could also begin this with a much wider space, depending on what your horse is able to do. Now I've got half the other side closed in, and she didn't seem to find that a problem because the carrots give her a reason to go in. A reason that makes sense to her. She's now in no hurry to back out. But she does, She did once back against one of the barrels, and now she's very careful. We stay with each slice of this task until the horse is totally ho-hum with it. No point rushing on if they're not ready. For 10th slice, we've closed the front of it off as well and asked her to walk on in. We add each element when the horse shows us that he's ready. And she was quite happy with half the side on, and now she seems quite happy with the front. So I'm making sure she doesn't step on the rope. She goes in and comes back out again. Now I've fully enclosed both sides and the front, so we're up to slice 11. She goes in quite happily to eat her carrots. She's relaxed and enjoying having her carrots. There's not much carrot in there, but she likes to lick the bowl. Now I'm using a voice and gesture signals to ask her out again, and that's a job well done. Can we do it again in a relaxed manner? And she says yes, as long as there's some carrots in there. We've done a lot of work with lanes and trailer loading in the past, so this is not brand new stuff for boots. It's building on things we've done before. Click and treat for a good job.